Learn how to formally perform some constructions. Some of them are easier than others, but I'm just going to give you the crash course, I guess. So first type of construction is duplicating a line segment. And that's actually we're starting with it for a reason. It's the easiest one because all we need to do is have 2 points, we'll call them A and B, that represent the line segment that you want to duplicate. And then we draw a circle using a compass that passes through those 2 points. All right. So you're opening your compass to the width of the line segment AB, making that your diameter. All right. And so what we're going to do is take that same circle, copy, and paste it, so you're going to hold your compass open to the same length as that circle, and then just slide it over and make a new circle where C is a point on the circumference of that circle. And then all you're going to do is draw a line that passes through. In this case, they're asking us to make it go in the direction of P, and it's got to create a line segment CD. So I'm going to draw a line and plot 2 endpoints on it. One is C, that was the given one, and one will now become point D. All right, so this new segment, here's C, here's D, and I'll just label it up. I'll go medium here. This new segment going from C to D is the one that they were asking about. All right, so that's the duplicated line segment. Now, if we want to duplicate an angle, it's a little bit of a different story. All right. First thing we're going to do, and a lot of these constructions come down to knowledge of circles, so that's where we're going to start. We're going to draw a circle that has A as its center. All right, so you're using your compass, and I'm kind of going about it a little bit differently, but it is what it is. Actually, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I'm going to do it a different way, so hopefully you didn't draw that sketch yet. Make a point on the circumference your vertex. All right, so that's what we'll do there. And then what we're going to do is create another circle that has a diameter going from those 2 intersection points. All right, so I'm going to plot 2 intersection points. I'm going to do it in green for those keeping score at home. So here's one of them right here. Assuming I got to figure out that setting. So I'm going to open my compass to the length separating these two points, and I'm going to draw a circle passing through both of them. All right. Oh, hello. I need you both. I need the shaded area also. All right. And really, it's just a matter of repeating what we just did. All right. So what I'll do is I'll open my compass to the same length that I had opened at point A to create my circle initially. And then I'm going to open my compass to the length that we created here. And you could draw a line segment first and go from there. But, since we're given one, that's what we're going to work off of. So I'm just going to use my circumference to create that extra intersection point. I'm going to plot it. And then I will use my line draw tool to connect. And if I slapped a ruler on these two, protractor on these two, you'd see that the 2 angles would be congruent. Perpendicular bisector. We've actually done this one already, but we'll do it formally now. Diagrams might get a little out of control because, just the spacing of it, but it should be okay. So what we're going to do is draw another circle, always drawing circles. Jeez. A circle whose center is at each of the 2 points and separated by the distance between those 2 points. All right, I'm actually going to modify my diagram just to give myself some more room. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'll take it as a typo. Oh, I missed. So here's A and B. That's good for B. All right. So I'm going to draw a circle. I'll go red. Centered at A, circumference at B. All right, that looks more like an oval or an ellipse. All right, better. And I'm just going to slide some things around, resize. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, just centered at B. With a radius of A. Radius of AB. The measure of AB, that is. Get there eventually. All right, and so then I'm going to connect the intersections. And draw a line segment passing through the 2 or passing between the 2. And that line segment, if you do a decent enough job, will be perpendicular and it'll also bisect. All right, so that black one is the perpendicular bisector. Constructing a line parallel to another line through a given point, I mean, it's still going to follow a lot of the same circular kind of relationships. All right, so you know what I'll do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a star on this one. I'm going to let you tackle this one on your own first, and then I'll come back to it. All right, see if you can come up with a solution to this one. But then we'll move on, and we'll get into the bisector and the perpendicular. Well, actually, I'm going to star number 6 and 7, because if you can handle everything else that I've done so far, then those will be pretty easy. But I will do number 5 with you because this is kind of new. All right. So this follows the same general idea as creating duplicating an angle. So what we do is we draw a circle, and this time we're going to create a circle that is centered at A. We're going to get those intersections. All right. Those intersections are incredibly important because that's how we're going to determine the bisector. All right. So from there's a few different ways to go, but what we're going to do is create a circle whose center is at one of the intersections and has a radius equal to the distance between the center of that circle and that new point. All right, so it's going to look something like this. All right, but again, because I'm not using an actual compass, I'm just kind of ballparking it. That's kind of where I'm at. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing from the other point. Now, because the 2 intersections are equidistant from A, these 2 radii should be actually the same. So when I plot this, let me just get it going where I want it to. It's a little off again because I'm not using a compass, but I'm just trying to make it look as centered as possible. I think that's the best I can do. All right, but this point here, when connected to the center or the vertex, will give you the angle bisector. All right.